Got with the coach, with Falcons, Dragons head coach Kevin Hasselberg. And of course, we're going to talk about what an amazing weekend this was. Recognizing the first AJHL team here in Drumheller, the 71-72, all the way till the 80s. Drumheller Falcons. Very, very cool because it was nice probably just to see that purple back in the Memorial Arena.
Yeah, we for me personally, I haven't done a lot of history. I did a little bit of history check to see what the Falcons were all about and what it meant to the community, and obviously to get a sense of the value that was left and still held, as you can see by the people that joined us for that event and whom we honored. Very, very proud, and was very fortunate to run into a few of them after the game, and it just kind of cements that whole concept of leaving your jersey in a better place. And I think that as individuals and as team members, the Falcons representatives that were in the rink still had a piece of them there, and brought out maybe some emotions that were trapped for a long time and buried, and kind of got to relive the past a little bit. And what a special day, what a special night, and what a special moment.
I thought it was a really classy move, too, for the Dragons to shake the hands of all the players at the opening ceremonies, just because it really ties it together and makes them understand where Drumheller hockey really come from.
Yeah, I mean, it's class, pay and respect. Again, it was kind of the foundation of the whole concept that we are trying to sell to our team, current team, to players that have played for the team in the last 2-3 years, and obviously for players moving forward, that it's all about the legacy you leave behind and how you impact a community. Clearly the billets, the coaches, the players, the volunteers that were a part of that Falcons hockey program that were in attendance did that, and our players should have a sense of pride in knowing that had they not done what they did, we probably wouldn't have the opportunities that we have today. So a lot of thanks given, maybe underneath the breath in our minds, and then obviously the celebration afterwards was a victory that was honored and dedicated to those people that represented the Falcons and represented the community in Drumheller when they did.
All right, well, let's talk about the hockey. Dragons played a very solid game. We got to talk about first Daniel Allen right now. He's had 2 games and 120 minutes of shutout hockey, and looking fantastic to get him back, and he looks very comfortable back there.
Yeah, just calm and confident. That's what a sense of belief will do for an individual and somebody who's prepared and up for the challenge that comes with stopping the puck. It also promotes confidence in the group in front of them when they see somebody as calm and collected in the net as they do with Daniel. And another thing it's done, I think it's instilled confidence in our other goaltenders too. We've seen 2 affiliates come up and play and earn their first wins as AJHL goaltenders in the last 2 weeks. You see practice a little more comfortable for the goaltenders, obviously with the revolving door that existed before Daniel and Chris arrived. It posed a lot of stress on our goaltenders, which is unfortunate, but it's a part of the business, and we have to be able to handle that stress. And I think Daniel's a player that's gone through it with Tri-Cities on the other end of the spectrum, where he was the guy pushed out. But seeing how he's handled it here with us now just indicates to us that this is a goaltender with a very long future in hockey, and certainly is going to do some amazing things in the sport.
You and I have talked so many times in all these discussions about how the leaders of this team have to lead. And one that's really leading right now, and actually his line, and actually all the leaders are leading right now, but Kobe Moore has 6 goals in 3 games. Caden Hannes has found some scoring touch right now. Just speak on some of those leaders that are actually leading on the score sheet, but also probably leading on the ice and in the dressing room.
Well, Danny is one of those leaders as well, and I think that's an indication of the calmness that they bring. And certainly when Kobe came back, it pushed another level of confidence and calmness in our group. And I think the roles start to have clarity post January 10th, and players kind of see where they fit in the spectrum and how they're going to most contribute to the team. And the other aspect of that is giving in to the team and doing what the team needs to be successful. And you see players really starting to embrace that role that's going to benefit the hockey team. And if anybody that has success in this sport, in team sports in general, that wins championships, understands that it's all about the team first and collectively giving in to what the team requires to be successful. And the leadership has embraced that, and it's starting to resonate through the group.
All right, well, we had 2 big wins this weekend. We'll look ahead. We got a busy week ahead of us again. Starts tomorrow night in Olds, and they've got some shakeups happening there. Unfortunately, Joe Murphy has been let go, so new coaching staff in Olds. But Olds always plays the Drumheller Dragons tough, so it's going to be a tough challenge for us tomorrow night.
Yeah, they don't show up to any game not prepared to work. That's a team that finishes hits for 60 minutes. That's a team that is passionate through wins and losses. It might be a lopsided score, but they have players out there that are going to drop the gloves and do whatever they can to spark their hockey team. It's a team on the up and up. You know, we hope for nothing but good things for that hockey program. You never want to see coaches let go, and you never want to see teams go through adversity and long stretches like the Grizzlies have. But you know, I think it comes and goes with the sport, and I think it's it's an indicator that you have to be prepared and you have to put in the work year after year, and it has to be by the entire group, whether it's through the ownership group or the community-led group of volunteers and board of directors, right on through to the coaching staff and the players. You can't take a night off in this sport, and things can get away from you in a hurry, and unfortunately with the Grizzlies that's what's happened, but certainly not in their effort. And come Tuesday night in Olds, we're going to have to be at our best to make sure that we give ourselves a fair chance to compete and to win that hockey game.
And then a couple big North teams that are coming down too. Sherwood Park Crusaders, which we played pretty solidly in Sherwood Park, I thought. And then we haven't seen the Bonnyville Pontiacs yet this year, but they're coming down here this weekend. So should be some great action for fans to enjoy this weekend here at the Memorial Arena.
You know, it's human nature to play your opponent at the level that your opponent competes at. And you know, it's a special talent for a team to stay at a level that they're capable of playing regardless of their opponent. And, you know, and why I mean special is your defending national champs just lost a game to the Lloydminster Bobcats, who have been hovering at the bottom of the league standings up until that moment. You know, I felt that our game in Calgary against the Canucks was very average, but we still win that hockey game 5-1 and controlled that hockey game. And I think when the dust settles and teams continue to advance, you're going to face stiffer competition longer than you're going to face the competition that might be going through challenges like the Canucks and the Grizzlies and the Lloydminster Bobcats of the Alberta Junior Hockey League, and those teams exist. And every once in a while, a team like that will upset a first-round opponent, hence us against the Canmore Eagles last year, where maybe you weren't prepared, maybe you didn't come in with the attitude and belief that you need to play at a certain level to be successful all the time. And what we're going to experience when the Sherwood Park Crusaders and the Bonnyville Pontiacs come in is what we will face for at least minimum 4 rounds of the playoffs in order to even get out of our league before we compete for a national championship and coming through BC. So, you know, I'm a very big believer in analytics and understanding how the game is played at various levels under various circumstances, and it's one lesson that we are really challenged to instill in our players and our staff and everybody involved, that how you perform on a daily basis should be measured first against yourselves, and you need to be the best that you can be on a nightly basis. And you know, that's defined success in terms of some of the previous coaches that have instilled these values in us. And when we can be at our best, when our best is required, and we measure our personal best against each other and against ourselves, then we're going to be successful. And we certainly can't do that playing down a level against an opponent that might not be at the level that we're at currently.
It's going to be an exciting weekend and should be a lot of fun to watch, so make sure you get down to the rink and watch some games against the Sherwood Park Crusaders on Friday and Bonnyville Pontiacs on Saturday. Thanks again for this, Kevin. Very insightful today.
Always my pleasure, Jason. Thank you.